Hello my loves, welcome back to Lavendaire. It's Aileen. Today I'm sharing 7 exercises to help you release your stress, anxiety, and overthinking. So these are mostly journaling and mindfulness exercises that you can do. These are not like physical or breathing exercises, although there are a ton of like breathing and physical things that you could do to calm down your stress. But this video is more for people who are like really in their minds. You have a lot of thoughts. It feels very chaotic here, and your thoughts are always weighing you down. So one of my favorite ways to make sense of all of that and take care of my mental health is journaling. So this video will share 7 different exercises related to kind of like clearing your thoughts and calming down, releasing all of that tension. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe to this channel for more videos on personal growth and lifestyle design. We talk all about how to become your best self and create your dream life. The first exercise is the brain dump. So make a list of all the things that stress you out or give you anxiety, and don't hold back. Be honest, don't filter yourself. This is a judgment-free zone for you to just kind of word vomit everything from up here down on paper or on your digital notepad. The first reason you want to do this is because writing these things down will help you become more aware of why you feel stressed, where this anxiety comes from. It helps you understand yourself and your brain better instead of just feeling the tension. And you know, those thoughts are cycling in your mind. You don't really are conscious of them at all times. So seeing it on paper or written down somewhere helps you get clear, like, oh, this is the thought that constantly holds me down or gives me fear or makes me feel uncertain. The second reason to do this is it can help you release these thoughts from your mind as you write them down. I want you to visualize, like, as I am writing these words on paper, I am leaving them on the paper. They're out of my mind and now they're like in this other object or this other thing. It doesn't have to stay in my mind and weigh me down. It doesn't have to burden my day. It doesn't have to take up my mental space, okay? So after you write all of these things down on paper, I want you to write on the bottom, I affirm that I am leaving these thoughts here instead of allowing them to live in my mind and take up my mental space. So that exercise on its own should be really helpful already, but if you want to get a little bit more out of it, then there's an optional second part to this exercise. So the second part is to assess the actionable. So out of all of those things that stress you out or give you anxiety, I want you to circle or highlight the ones that are within your control. So recognize which ones are things that you can do something about and which ones are things that are completely out of your control. So the things that you have control over are things like your habits or the things you say or your thoughts. And then after you do that, decide, okay, what is one small step I can do to feel calmer or to release the stress and anxiety based on the things I know I can control. Moving on, the next exercise is to start to become aware of the beliefs, mindsets, or habits that might be causing you stress or anxiety. So ask yourself honestly, what beliefs, mindsets, or habits might be contributing to my stress and anxiety? What's like perpetuating these negative thought patterns? Feel free to make a list or just do stream of consciousness journaling to this prompt, because what you're doing is you're investigating your mind. Like, why do I do this? Where does it come from? There are so many layers to your mind and why you are the way you are, why you have habits, why you have these mindsets. So dig and do some investigation. Is it your perfectionism? Are you trying to people please? Do you feel like you have to prove yourself? I highly recommend, as you get an answer, you ask yourself, okay, why? Like, why do I think that way? Why? Just keep asking yourself the question why until you feel like you've boiled it down to like something really core and really truthful, something that you're like, I think that's what it is. That's the reason why it led to this and this and this and this. Finally, at the end of this exercise, ask yourself, at the heart of it, what do I truly want? So after you've investigated like why you are the way you are, at the heart of it, like what is it that you really wanted in the first place that makes you worry and overthink and do all of these things. Before we move on to the next exercise, I want to thank BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video. So if you are looking for a little bit more guidance on your mental health journey, BetterHelp is a platform where you can get professional counseling done securely online. So BetterHelp will assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist. There's a broad range of expertise in BetterHelp's counselor network, and their service is available for clients worldwide. So you can log into your account anytime to message your counselor. I personally like to do weekly phone calls, but you can also schedule video calls or phone calls, or if you prefer text, to chat with your counselor. It's definitely more convenient than traditional therapy. You don't have to deal with waiting rooms or anything like that. And BetterHelp also makes it easy and free to change counselors if you don't like yours, or you can cancel anytime if you don't like it. It's also more affordable than traditional offline counseling, and financial aid is also available. So if you guys are interested in trying out BetterHelp, you can go to my link at betterhelp.com/Aileen. That's better, HELP, to get 10% off your first month. The third exercise is to recognize what is within your control and what is outside of your control. Knowing the difference between what is in your control and what is outside of your control can help you recognize when you are having valid stresses and fears versus ones that are literally things that you can do nothing about, right? So you can visualize this either as a circle and then write everything in your control inside the circle and then everything outside of the circle. Or like me, I just drew kind of like a half circle line in the middle of the page. You can do this in columns really visually, it doesn't matter, but you want to separate like what is inside my control versus what is outside of my control. So anything that is inside of your control, you can do something about. Anything outside, there's nothing you can do about it no matter how hard you try. So don't waste your energy and your thoughts on trying to change those things or even thinking about those things. Another way to frame this exercise is to remind yourself to focus more on what you can control versus what you can't control. I know there are a lot of frustrating things that we can't control that give us stress and anxiety. But instead of giving our energy to that, give your energy to things that you can control. That way you can feel more productive towards doing something, taking action to make progress in your life, to make yourself feel better, to release your stress and your anxiety. Energy goes where attention flows. So if you are directing your energy to the things that are within your control, then you are empowering yourself. You're giving yourself energy, giving yourself power. But if you direct your attention outside of yourself, you're giving your attention and energy away from you. You're disempowering yourself and you're putting your energy in other things that aren't really, like, it's not worth your energy or your time to do that. The next exercise is a visualization. So ask yourself, what does peace look like to me? Close your eyes, contemplate, ask yourself, what does peace look like? What does peace feel like? And try to describe it, try to imagine it, visualize it. So take some time to write it down, describe it as best you can in words. You can choose to draw it out if you are artistically inclined, or you can even create a vision board just on Pinterest or something based on the ideal vision you have, what peace looks like to you. And these resources are things that you can always come back to. You can always read your description of what peace looks like. You can always close your eyes and bring yourself back to that vision, or you can always pull out like that vision board or put it on your phone as a wallpaper so that you remember, you're drawn towards this feeling of peace. The next exercise I want to share is a mindfulness exercise. So peace exists all around and within us. The more you become aware of it, the more you will start to feel it. So I'm going to direct your attention to different areas, and then the exercise is to note what is peaceful about each area or each thing. So note what is peaceful about today. What is peaceful about your space? What is peaceful about what's outside your window? What is peaceful about the sounds you hear right now? What is peaceful about your relationships? What is peaceful about you? So each of these areas are just examples of where you can draw your attention to and start to be mindful, like, there is peace here. There's peace outside, there's peace in this room, there's peace within, and it's just about recognizing it and being mindful of it. Obviously, you're not limited to these things that I shared. Like, feel free to, throughout your day, start to become mindful. Like, choose your own areas. What's peaceful about this outfit that I'm wearing? Or what's peaceful about the feeling of like driving? The more you pay attention to it, the more you will feel it. By the way, I'd love if you guys could comment down below, what does peace look like to you? I want to hear all your descriptions, and I want to like see different visions of peace down below. I feel like we'll bring some like good, peaceful energy down there. Exercise number 6 is to do a tech or social media detox. So technology and social media are such a huge part of our lives today, and there are so many benefits, but there are also negatives that come along with it. Our tech habits can take away our peace. They can make us so distracted, feeling so frazzled, just being too plugged into everyone's voices and opinions. It can get really loud and really messy, and it can be very unproductive. It's not helpful to us. It gives us more stress and anxiety when it's supposed to be helping our lives, you know? So instead of being a victim of the technology that you use, you want to be in control. You don't want to be the one that's scrolling mindlessly. You want to be intentional and in control of your technology usage. So ask yourself, how do I want to detox from technology or social media today or this week? It's up to you what you want to decide, whether you want to like cut your hours each day or set aside a whole weekend where you don't open social media on your phone. What area of technology are you not being intentional about? What part of it is taking away your peace? For some people, it might be all of it. For others, it could just be like Twitter or TikTok. We want to build the habit of being more in control of our energy and our attention, making sure that we are always intentional about how we use technology, not getting lost in it mindlessly and allowing it to zap away your energy and attention. Final exercise I'll share today is a good one. This is the jar exercise. So I'm not sure if you guys have heard this metaphor. I think it's been told by many different people. I'm not even sure who the source is, but imagine like a jar and you have 3 things. You have like big rocks, you have pebbles, and then you have sand, right? So if you fill that jar with sand completely to the top, there's no space for bigger pebbles or the bigger rocks. So the jar is a metaphor for our time, energy, and attention, and it's a metaphor for prioritizing. So if you fill up your jar with sand, you can't fit the other big things. But if you put the big rocks in first, that will fit, and then you can fit pebbles after that, and then you can fit sand. Sand will fill up the space in between the big rocks and the pebbles. So the lesson is to, prioritize the most important things first, and then it just, by order of priority, like the rest will fill up your time and space regardless. But that's why you have to make space for the very big, important things, rather than letting all these like minuscule distractions fill up your entire jar. So the exercise is to ask yourself, what are my big rocks? And then what are the pebbles? And then what is the sand in my life? All right, let me know down below which one was your favorite out of the exercises I shared today. And let me know if you want more videos like this where I share like actionable exercises and journaling prompts. All right, sending you so much love, and I hope you find peace and calm in your life because you deserve it. See you in the next one. Bye.